Hey guys, Dimitri here. How you doing? Got a new mod on my 2015 WRX. You can probably guess what it is based on this sound right here. I got the K&N Intake, not cold air intake. Don't call it a cold air intake, guys. It's not a cold air intake if it doesn't filter the air in from the bottom of the car. I got the K&N Typhoon Intake system and have some feedback for you guys. The first thing, this intake system was way cheaper than any of the other systems. ETS and Mishimoto or however you pronounce that, those intakes, you have to pay $300 for the intake plus another $100 for the heat shield. I got my K&N Typhoon system for $200 out the door on Black Friday with a $25 rebate. So it only cost me $175. I have to admit though, there are some reasons why I think it may be worth it to buy the more expensive ETS or Cobb or some of the other brands. One thing that I noticed about this intake when I was installing it is that it does not fit perfect. The thing that attracted me about the K&N system, other than the price, was the fact that it only has one bend in the intake tube, whereas a lot of the systems, like the AEM system, has two bends. It looks like a C, the pipe. So common sense, one bend means less restriction of airflow. That really drew me to the system. The other thing is I've always had K&N systems on my other cars, and when you couple that with the lowest price, it was a no-brainer. But I have to admit, the fit is not perfect. The bracket that holds the tube in place so that it's not moving around under throttle, it forces the little coupler that comes out of the turbo inlet to kind of bend in a very awkward way, where I'm a little concerned that over time and under boost, it may rip. That's because the bracket that they supply and where the bracket is bolted down on the intake tube and on the frame of the car creates a very abnormal bend between the intake tube and the turbo tube that goes into the turbo inlet. The other thing is the heat shield. Yes, it's great. Look, $200, under $200 for a full intake system on a brand new car. That's a great deal. But the heat shield that they supplied doesn't fit. I had to bend the heat shield to be able to fit in and to be able to have there's three nuts, two on the top and one on the bottom, where the heat shield connects to the car. And I basically had to manipulate the shape of the heat shield to fit. It doesn't look very pretty under there. I'll show you guys later. But again, I didn't get the part so the under the hood would look pretty. I got the part because I wanted an increase in performance, and I wanted the turbo sound, you know? One part of the reason I bought this car was because I like the fact that it has a twin scroll turbo, and I believe that those turbos sound phenomenal under boost when you have an aftermarket intake system. I mean, listen to this, guys. I mean, it sounds phenomenal. Even under just a little boost in third gear, it's a beautiful sound. All right, performance and gas mileage. What have I noticed so far? Obviously, you guys know the only other mods I have is the short throw shifter and the nameless axle back muffler deletes. I do not have a tune. I'm concerned about tuning my car right now. I know that all these aftermarket parts could theoretically void your warranty or void a claim towards a warranty, but my belief is that I can easily swap in the stock intake and the stock mufflers if I had to take my car in, knock on wood, to address a warranty claim. So I know that once you mess with the ECU, there's a footprint of that. It's gonna be pretty hard to hide that in the future, whereas the bolt-ons are really easy to hide. So far the car's running great. I don't notice anything crazy. I live in Washington State. We have 92 octane for premium. I haven't been able to find 93. I know the intakes run best on stock tunes with 93. I can't find it in my area, so I'm running 92 and it seems to be running all right. I haven't had any stalls. I haven't had any decrease in power. If anything, I've noticed that the car is a little quicker up high in the RPM range, but it's not like with the exhaust where it's really obvious. When I put the axle back system on, there was an obvious performance gain, especially up high in the RPM. The intake, I'm not noticing it as much. I don't know if it's the sound or what. It definitely feels different. The throttle response has definitely changed slightly. It feels like you have to give the car a little more gas to get it moving, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But overall, guys, the cheapest intake on the market for 2015 or 2016 WRX. I'm the first person I haven't seen any reviews on YouTube about the system. I may be the first one to actually have reviewed the system. The fit is poor. The sound is great. And the performance gains, it's a little too premature for me to speak on that. I'm not noticing anything huge. Slightly different throttle response and maybe some extra ponies and torque up high. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'll do some pass-by runs later so you can hear what the intake sounds like with the exhaust system. Let me know what you think.